In this video, I want to talk about the power of fear, especially in relationships. Does your woman ever lose her mind or lose her emotions or go off into a tailspin or into a deep, dark hole or a swirl where she demands your presence and demands that you be there with her in her pain and her suffering, but to the point where you feel it could even be abusive or insane? Well, we have something called pathologies, and fear can drive people. Fear is the most powerful thing ever. Pathological fear, because it's rooted in death, psychological death, ego death, but the ego thinks it's real death, the deepest, darkest places that you can't even shine a light on or even tiptoe around, because it can cause people to go insane, to rip off their clothes and run out in the middle of the street in traffic screaming with a knife in their hand. Crazy shit is what causes people to, I don't know for sure, I'm just guessing, but to commit horrible things to themselves and to their others, all the way to drugs and suicide. Growing up, I've witnessed some pretty fucked up shit. And it's made me fascinated with psychology. In the deepest moments, when somebody wants to commit suicide, or somebody pulls out a knife, or is cutting themselves, or threatening something insane, or maybe you're right there beside them, there's one thing that you can do, and it takes really... If you hear it goes... You feel that yawn right there? I would love to write an entire article about the power of the yawn. It's amazing. It's a psychological tension release. We get bound up in these tight tensions, these knots. So, a person, or especially in a relationship, your woman wants to feel that you are literally willing to strip off your flesh and, burn in hell with her for eternity, with no psychological backdoors. If you're going through hell in your relationship, that person, the only way is the power of unconditional love and the power of being willing to let go of your ego and suffer and wear her anger like a coat and sit there and literally willingly burn in the depth of hell, and it will feel like you're incinerating in hell, and you can't step out of it until... You feel that yawn? Till the pain subdues, because the only way out is through. If you back off, if you know what I'm talking about, you're still watching. I don't have to give any exact examples. So I'll give you a real example. I think like a year ago, my wife and I got in a fight about something. Really rooted around some pretty deep shit. I don't know what it was, but it was pretty fucking painful. And I grabbed her and I held her. And I made her like sit on my lap, but facing me with her legs wrapped around me, and I squeezed her and I held her. And it hurt so bad to hug her. I just wanted to push her off of me and just get a breath of fresh air and go the fuck outside. And I didn't. I stayed there and I held her. And I held her, and it got worse and worse. And oh my God, I was absorbing all of her pain and feeling and empathically wearing her anger like a coat and feeling her emotions. And it hurt so bad. And I was literally going inside of her and being there with her. And it felt like I was carrying a cross up a hill. I don't mean to sound religious or anything. I'm not religious. But it's a good example. And I felt like I was crucifying myself. And the pain got so bad, it felt like it was ripping me a fucking apart. And when she could feel that I could feel that, like I was going to die. that I took on her suffering. When we crossed the Rubicon, and I was just sitting there holding her and not letting go, I went all the way in until death. Feel that? At the peak of the suffering of holding her, it got so bad it just flipped on itself and then dissolved into nothingness. Here comes. And then what did she do? She yawned and completely released, and all of her suffering just completely drained out of her body, in me, and then outward into the spirit or something. It transmuted into peace, transmuting suffering into peace. And there was a gift I was able to give her in that moment. And then we just like held each other and went and got a coffee, and it was great because she could feel on the deepest level that my love for her goes so deep that I'm willing to suffer in hell with her. Can your woman feel? And I'm not saying me. I've been through fucking hell in my life, bro. But can your woman feel that you are willing to? I don't know if you saw that. That's a microphone. This is kind of like my audiobook booth. In the winter, I'll be recording a lot of audio stuff here, so if you can listen to audiobooks and things. But can your woman feel that you're willing to suffer beside her in fucking hell? And you will never leave, no matter what. You'll never fucking tuck your tail between your legs and run. Because I've ran, dude. I've tucked my tail between my legs. I'm like, I can't deal with this shit, bro. I need to go. Fucking, you just feel like you want to hop in your truck and just leave the fucking state. But all you're doing when you do shit like that, like men who fucking leave, or, I can only speak from this paradigm, okay? Because I don't know. Some people weren't meant to be together, right? Sometimes the universe works in mysterious ways. I understand that. But when you do something out of ego versus truth, or you do it to run through a psychological backdoor, you're only bringing more suffering upon yourself and other people. All you're doing is you're creating some karma that's going to just fucking eat your ass alive, dude. So you ever do anything besides for lean into the truth, no matter how painful it is, you're going to fucking pay. In this life or the next. So you might as well, follow through on your commitments and be the best man that you can be, and give your life away until death. Some fucking deep shit. So when you're suffering, I don't have any kids yet, and I will soon. Some guy said on a comment, he's like, bro, you don't know what fucking busy is. Wait till you got fucking kids and you're trying to change diapers. Dude, I can imagine, but that's what it is. There's an amazing story. I'll tell it in another video. Cool, hope you got something from that. See the yawn? I hope you're yawning, because it's a psychological tension release for the nervous system. Over and out.